133 units of mixed income housing, consisting of 187 low-income housing tax credit homes and 46 market rate homes. This development is around 245,000 square feet with 261 parking spaces, and we're currently leased around 30% right now. So we can't wait to get this community going and filled up for the neighborhood. Originally named after Fort Howard, which was built on the site in 1816, is not just a place of security, but a center for business and social engagement. Seeking to incorporate the project's namesake, the fort at the rail yard not only remediated a former underutilized brownfield site, the development put it into productive use in such a way as to create a true asset to the surrounding community that fits in harmony with the adjacent properties. This development is particularly community focused in that it creates a walkable environment. We have a pass-through breezeway for pedestrians, first floor retail space for further economic development, or community amenities. Some of the amenities with this project include an attractive brick facade, views of the Fox River and Broadway Street, and a few lucky homes that have a view of the stadium. They're pretty impressive. I love those. We also have a 24/7 fitness studio, personal storage, on-site management team, in-home laundry, full patios or balconies available, designated co-working space, a community lounge that we're in right now, as well as a pet park and many more amenities. I would now like to thank our great partners with this project. The fort at the rail yard was financed with 4% bonds, low-income housing tax credits from WBAY, and financial partners consisting of Merchants Bank, Merchants Capital, and Western Alliance Bank. In addition, the project partnered with DDL Holdings and the City of Green Bay to establish a tax increment financing district for the project, as well as the City of Green Bay for further support, which allowed the deal to receive ARPA funding. On Broadway has also been a huge support and helped orchestrate today's event, so I just want to say thank you to all of our partners for that support. Our speaker lineup today will consist of Mayor Gingrich of Green Bay, followed by Brian Johnson of the City Council and On Broadway Incorporated, then Brian Shelbourne with Merchants Capital, and last but not least, we have Paul Bleschner of DDL Holdings and Base Companies. Once Paul is finished today, I invite everyone to join us outside by the leasing office for a ribbon cutting. I know it is a little hot, so if you don't want to join, we are going to have the Elmington team, if you want to raise your hands. They will be starting tours of the community at the same time as well, so feel free to tag along with one of them. We have a vacant 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom open upstairs to see. And now, I'd like to welcome Mayor Gingrich for providing the support for this.
Well, thanks so much, Aaron, for those comments and for the introduction. Appreciate all of your work on this project. Appreciate TWG and the work that they've done in this community. As everybody who's gathered here knows, housing is a huge priority for the city of Green Bay, and so we're just very fortunate to have a private partner like TWG doing this work within our city. Also just want to acknowledge a few folks here. Brian's going to be talking in a little bit, but obviously Brian Johnson from our city council, our president, and representing the area just south of here. I think I saw Alyssa Prophet somewhere. There she is. Alyssa Prophet, also our alder, the home alder here, so representing the 7th District on our city council. Melinda Eck, also here somewhere. There she is. So appreciate her work on our city council as well. Lori Radke in the back here, President and CEO of the Greater Green Bay Chamber, and just want to recognize her work over these 14 years. She's been a huge champion of the entire region, but including downtown Green Bay. And so that's been a great area of partnership that we've been able to develop over the years, so really appreciate Lori's leadership. Paul's going to be speaking as well, but want to recognize him and Brent from DDL. This kind of stuff would not have happened without the investment of DDL and Base Companies and just the work that they have done over the years here within the rail yard, recognizing the potential of this site. Was the Larson Canning Company here for many years, but then had gone out of business and really was a blighted site, 23 acres, I think, in totality of blight, but also potential. And thanks to DDL for recognizing the potential that existed here and for doing all the work that's brought us to this point. Also city staff, so Will Peters from our Community and Economic Development Department has probably played the biggest role with this project from Community and Economic Development, so really appreciate his work. Of course, Matt Buchanan, our deputy, and then Cheryl Renier-Wigg, our director at CED, doing a fantastic job on all kinds of projects these days, but this was a big one for us. And as I mentioned, Housing is a huge priority for the city of Green Bay. There is literally not a day that goes by when I am not in some meeting or thinking about it or talking about it with city staff or our private partners. And so to see a project like this come together is really, really exciting. And this is a sizable one. I think over 220 units here within this development. One thing I hear a lot about is, we're talking about all the developments we have going on, and people are like, yes, but we need affordable housing. And I think they see a development like this, and they don't necessarily think it's affordable because of the way that it was built. Originally, the vision was for it to be market rate. But I think one of the great things about this development is when that switch changed for some reasons, some financing reasons and others, the design didn't shift, right? The amenities that Aaron was talking about are all maintained. And so this is going to be a fantastic property for people of a variety of incomes. It's good. It's a mixed income development with a priority, I think, on affordable housing. So again, just really excited that we're here today. This has taken some time to get to where we are, but that's the nature of development these days. Things get complicated, especially when you go through something like a pandemic and financing shifts around and you got to make that pivot like I talked about. But we're really happy with how things have turned out and just excited to be able to cut the ribbon on the fort. So with that, I'll turn things over to Brian Johnson, our City Council President and CEO of On Broadway.
Thank you, Mayor. As it were. Commitment to really make this happen. One of the things we talk a lot about, and the mayor, you reminded me of this the other day during the home tour, and it's an emerging theme within downtowns, and that's the concept of a central social district. And in the city of Green Bay, in our downtown in particular, we've had a long history of businesses, and whether it's retail, restaurants, office use, but we've really lacked that residential density. And that's what makes a project like this so critically important when you think about the future of downtowns and how to make successful downtowns. This is vitally important. As the mayor said, housing continues to be a priority throughout the city of Green Bay, and we continue to prioritize it within the Broadway strategic plan. 238 units is not a small number, and I know we had a lot of conversations with TWG when things had to pause for a bit, and I do want to actually take an opportunity to maybe emphasize the importance of opportunity zones, and hopeful that federal legislation can be extended to really make that a tool that is within the toolkit that oftentimes developers look at, because the Broadway district is encased within two different opportunity zones, and that is a really important tool when you're thinking about how to get development like this done. And it was challenging and it was difficult. It went from a market rate to what we have today, but as the mayor said, the quality was not impacted. In fact, I know Alyssa and Melinda were not on council, I don't think, at the time, but there was a lot of discussion around balconies. And so very happy to see that the balconies remained in place, and I'm sure some of the prior alders would be happy to see that as well. And, at the end of the day, when you think about housing, though, the cost of housing, whether you're talking market rate or affordable, is not that vastly different, right? You have site acquisition, your financing costs, the cost of lumber and drywall. All of that costs the same, whether it's luxury or whether it is some level of subsidized development. And so the importance of somebody like WBAY, with an H, WBAY, thank you for your support to really come in on this project, because that is what made this project possible. And I think that's really important to talk about, because again, the cost to construct it really wasn't that different from maybe what was initially proposed. And so to make the financing and the capital stack on that work, there had to be an adjustment. And so we're so grateful that the state was able to find a way to participate on that project. Think about massing on something like this. Eric reminded me and said I should tell this again, but I've been saying it everywhere I go. to get a sense, when you stand out here and you kind of see this is shaped like a U, but if this were on the same site as Metro or City Deck Landing, this would be a 20 to 30 story tall building. That's a significant size. Now think about that in the city of Green Bay and what that means for a downtown. And you're creating housing options for people that work down here, people that want to live down here. The average, this came through the National Main Street Conference when we were there this past year. The average residential unit in a downtown district creates $14,000 of direct spending within the immediate vicinity of that downtown area. So a lot of times you get these units and you have roommates, right? So you might have two incomes or a married couple, but that's a significant spend that goes directly into the businesses that are down here, whether it's a grocery store, a coffee shop, crepe shop next door. I highly encourage you to check them out. They're very good. And then, of course, even the retail spot here that we're trying to fill. And so On Broadway does have a retail grant program. So if we have a vacant space, we want to get a retailer in there, and we do have a micro grant program that is available for folks that are willing to sign at least a one-year lease. So if you know anybody interested in this space next door, please have them connect with TWG or myself, and we'd be happy to have that conversation. So thank you for your commitment, because this was not the easiest project. I don't know where Aaron went, but he's around here somewhere. Thank you for your commitment, because it took a lot of tenacity, some holding time to really kind of figure out how you were going to get this thing done, and you did it. And thank you for doing that. Thank you to city staff. We recognize that we have housing needs at every level. And I'm really proud to say that the city continues to deliver solutions for the residents here of Green Bay. And you've seen that happen in a much more effective way than I've seen in a lot of other cities throughout Wisconsin. So thank you to our city staff, Cheryl, Matt, Rebecca, Will, I saw David Buck. So if I've missed anyone, of course, the mayor who gets to lead that team of incredibly talented people. We really appreciate that commitment to make sure that everyone has housing here in the city, whether it's, again, folks that are the luxury, like Newland, or folks that might be part of your working class, whether it's an entry-level educator or teacher, or maybe somebody who's working at one of the restaurants down here. Everybody needs a good quality home to live. So a lot of great people around this. We appreciate everything you've done. And then I think you're next, Paul, or someone in between. Someone's in between, so Paul, stay there. I want to thank you as well, and obviously the Base Companies team, because you were a partner in this in a few different ways, and you had to remain committed and steadfast and understand that projects like this are complicated and take time. So thank you for the vision as well to bring residential into the downtown area, and recognizing that it can and should coexist with a lot of our commercial development. So with that, the other Brian. Come on up, Brian. One of the most important people.
I think I'm the bridge to Paul here, but keep it quick. My name's Brian Shelbourne, and I'm honored to be here today representing Merchants Bank and Merchants Capital, celebrating the grand opening of the Ford at the Rail Yard, who collectively provided over $30 million to the project through construction financing and 4% equity investments of the partnership. Merchants Bank is headquartered in Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis, and we are a national leader in multifamily housing finance. We are committed to partnering with developers to meet their needs and financing their properties nationwide, and we have had the privilege of working with TWG for close to 15 years, financing over 25 plus projects, which totaled over 2,000 affordable units across the country. They've made it their mission to provide quality, affordable housing. And as the mayor mentioned, nothing helps shake the stereotype of affordable housing like projects, as you can see here. Truly takes a village to reach this point. Successful projects like this are no small feat, so we look forward to the positive impact of this project to the city of Green Bay. Very much look forward to this upcoming ribbon coming. So with that, I think I'll pass it over to Paul with Baseline. I think wrap us up here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Green Bay for those of you that aren't normally from Green Bay. So Paul Belschner with Base Companies and the Rail Yard Innovation District and DDL Holdings, and you can call us anything. So I want to call out our team. I see Brent Weicker in the back, one of our partners, Josh Smits. I see Mitchell and Aaron. So we're here. We live here every day. Our offices are here. Mayor and Brian did a fabulous job of providing a backdrop to the partnership in the windy road that we've been on. But I just want to touch briefly on partnership and thank TWG. Congratulations for your projects, but thank you for your continued perseverance and partnership. And then we'll talk just briefly about the magnitude. So for those of you that may not know, there's another 107 units on the north end of the rail yard that are the Broadway lofts. So we partnered with TWG initially on that project. We closed on the land for the fort on December 20th, 2019. So 2 months later, there were some big challenges in the world. And my phone gave me a picture of this site 3 years ago. And it was started, but it wasn't finished. Today, to come and see this project, TWG gave us their word all along that they would not deviate from the plans and renderings that we were shown initially, and it truly turned out to be that spectacular. So thank you for that continued partnership, TWG. We appreciate you. Your residents are choosing an amazing neighborhood to live in, right? We have a 22-acre development. So over the course of time now, we've absorbed 300,000 square feet of former cannery buildings, mostly into Class A office spaces. Brian alluded to the size of the Metro and City Deck Landing. Those were transformational projects in the evolution of our urban core. This project is larger than both of those together. That is so important for us to continue to provide the amenities and talent attraction and retention for the employers that are choosing to locate their businesses at the rail yard. It's bringing us expansions to Voyager Bakehouse. It's bringing us new leases that we aren't releasing yet, but you're going to love them on the first floor. They're retail businesses. It's bringing us crepe shops, French restaurants, things, Weldon Arrow, jewelry or companies. So those are tough businesses in Green Bay, right? We're 106,000 people in the city, 280 in the county. It takes this kind of density. Go drive down city streets and see how many streets you have to go down to get 230 homes, right? So this is something we haven't seen, and I appreciate that partnership. That's what sticks in my mind, the perseverance. This wasn't a straight line, but we got here, and your residents are choosing an amazing neighborhood to be a part of. So thank you very much. I think we're back to Aaron for the ribbon cutting.
Okay, thank you everyone again. We greatly appreciate it. I would like to invite all of our speakers to join us outside for the ribbon cutting and their teams. If anyone wants to join, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, Elmington will be starting tours along this. Feel free to join them, grab some refreshments, and thank you again. We appreciate it.
Hold on 1 second, 1 second.
Okay,
Almost there.
you're good.
All right, good here.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Of course. No.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Aaron.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Make sure to hold off any Lambo
I'll take those from you as well.
People roll their eyes. Yeah.
Oh, no. We will.
Well, Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. So.